Hi guys, Rando Gamer here with the next session of Adventures of the Standing Bear. This is session 18, which picks up right after we had helped vacate the Temple of Pelore and basically get rid of the siphon on Fia's power, or at least mitigate it, stop it from siphoning, and start to restore her power. We had gotten about 50% at the end of last session, and some druids basically got sent out during the session to kind of continue that aspect, but kind of closing at least that part of the quest line for Fia off before we start heading in our next direction, which involves Cassandra's quest for Ambrosia. The party makes their way back to Windshire to kind of recoup a little bit and kind of get their ducks in a row for moving forward. There's a pretty big reveal with Endless, basically the implications of the relationship with Cassandra and where that ends up leading for him, which is really, really interesting. We don't really get into the details of how and what that means until I think it's next session. Um, but kind of a big decision for him, and then the party kind of making their decision to head to Urim to get some more answers and hopefully find a better direction as far as their quest for helping Cassandra with Ambrosia. But a little bit shorter session, but overall a pretty good RP session. If you like the video, make sure to hit that like button, and if you want to stay up to date on my videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button. But without further ado, here is Adventures of the Standing Bear, Session 18.
Okay, so the last we left the Fellowship of the Standing Bear, they had acquired new knowledge and help from unsuspecting strangers to locate and effectively fly towards the Phoenix Temple that you all were trying to pin down. Upon getting there, it was it was it didn't take too much time before realizing, going through the halls and the even the entrance to the temple, that it had been desecrated by vampires. Uh, Wandering your way in, you would eventually find a uh, essentially what was like a magical machine sort of contraption that was situated over a pond of glowing gold liquid that had been slowly depleted over an amount of time. Uh, Not knowing at the time that this sort of well is a sort of physical manifestation of Fia's power, and uh, upon getting into the chamber, you would end up being encountered by a familiar vampire to Cassandra, Sebastian. Uh, he would sort of interrogate and make demands that the party should leave and sort of just walk away, or else they would kill them all. Uh, Obviously, Sebastian didn't know who the fuck he was talking to, and uh, it wasn't soon after that shit went down, and the fight started off with an immense amount of vampires, including Sebastian, all swarming the party. Even some enough that Throg had like been swarmed by 4 or 5 of them and been forced back into the hallway to fight off the vampires there. And it was a long combat, everybody, and it sort of turned out well. And you know, like I feel like everybody had a really good chance to sort of really show their merit of what their class can offer at the table. And uh, some highlights being Zaphreal once again being taken over by the main bad guy, uh, forced to try and fight, encountered with a wall of force from Cassandra.
It
There
was
was,
crashed out parts.
and then especially with like all the dot damage from on Sebastian with Mox's sort of what the blood curses or whatever.
Yeah, brand of castigation.
Yeah, brand of castigation. Uh, but after I didn't have the time to count how many rounds of combat there were, but I would reckon that we had at least 7 or 8 rounds of combat.
Yeah, it was like 3 hours.
Yeah. You all came on top with the effective use of your overlapping daylight spells and your determination to vanquish came out on top. At which point, all the while this fighting was occurring, Quentin was trying to find a way that he could sort of remediate this sort of situation and was sort of like in this sort of trance, sort of druidic state, if you will. But once the vampires were taken care of, the party could then focus their attention and assist Quentin in any way that they could. And Mhox used his ethereal. What was it? What was the feature called?
Aether Walk.
Aether Walk, to move his hand inside of the machine to essentially manipulate one of the parts such that it would compromise the effectiveness of it. And proving to be successful, this gives Quentin enough space to sort of continue without such a arduousness to it. And if I'm missing anything outside of that, you all were taking a look now that there was more time to sort of take in your surroundings. And in this sort of sphere, semi-dome shaped room along the walls were these carved stone tablets that seem to be predicting what you all may have gathered as a sort of what's the word? Origin of life story, more or less. Towards the end, Quentin had nearly fainted, and he also had stated that once we can get a hold on this situation, he needs to return back to the Grove because of other responsibilities that he has that he has been taken away from. And we kind of left off with the part at, like I said you guys made it back to the airship, but we're gonna pick up right at, we'll say it's probably been an hour and a half that you guys have been sort of chilling. If you want, you can take a short rest. We're gonna say it's about 4 o'clock. We're edging on the evening hours.
Okay.
Said short rest.
Yeah, if you would like to, you can take a short rest.
Yeah, English would definitely like to.
Yes.
I'm kind of dying.
Well, he's okay.
Real quick, before you guys start, Evan, could we get a change to some sort of cathedral music? It doesn't necessarily have to be super intense, but just some sort of that kind of ambience vibe. But be as you will.
Cassandra, you went first.
Cassandra's gonna short rest with Engless and is gonna be using her healing hands to help him, as darkish red rays kind of pour from her hands as she's healing him.
Okay, go ahead and roll some hit dice, and you guys can heal up. Zaphreal?
I was just going to go seeing Cassandra help mend Endless. Zaphreal put his hand on the other side of Endless's head and just bow his head in respect and dump of 5th level cure wounds.
Oh,
Thank you. Real quick though, it's been so long since I've actually done a short rest for my character, and I don't know how to apply the hit die. It lets me select it, but then it doesn't do anything for me.
Does that to me too, so I just roll the normal dice.
So you click on it, you click on the amount of die you want to use, and then hit roll it. Click the on my screen 12. You click that, and then take short rest.
Wait, hold on. I wasn't looking at your screen.
So, say for if I want to heal my guy up, I'm gonna click how many I want.
Rest screen though.
Okay, you click up here,
I see the
short
issue.
rest, and then you click how many dice you want to use, Roll it.
doesn't-
Missing for me.
Yeah, the rolling is what's missing for me.
Okay,
Yeah.
well then just look at what your hit dice is, roll it, and add it, and that's really all you do.
Yeah, and then I'm just adding my modifier manually. It works for me.
Yeah, it might be a little more extensive though, because if you have anything that resets on a short rest, you got to go through and manually click all that back in.
Endless, you get 21 HP from Zaphreal.
And you get.
I knew what I was doing wrong. I figured out what I was doing wrong. Okay, hold on. What was that, Zaphreal?
21 HP.
Ooh, thank you.
And then you get from Cassandra, you'll get 9. She's not much.
Thank you. Zaphreal, before you leave, Anglus will reach out and he'll grip onto he'll lock wrists with you as he looks up into you and he nods his head and says thank you.
For those that cannot find it, you can also click on your character portrait, and you can click on short rest there as well.
So I think the issue that I was having is like I have to click so many before it lets me roll, and I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Endless, it's
Sorry, guys, just give me 1 second.
This definitely sounds like an elven village music.
Oh, easily.
It hasn't been relevant because we hardly ever do short rests, but I realized all of my Blood Hunter shit resets on a short rest.
Oh shit!
So, like,
Now you
Mhm.
know. Knowing is half the battle.
well, I mean, it's almost never relevant in Colton's or Tucker's campaigns for short rest, but
so like our I mean, I guess aside from mods, none of our players in our games really benefit from short rests aside from healing.
well, there could be some items because I think there's some items that reset on short
It's
rest
like-
as well too. But
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second, guys. Sorry.
You good? Do what you gotta do.
Glad to know that I'm not the only
Have
one.
we figured it out, everyone?
I think so. Who knows though? Everything on my screens is currently backwards, and I don't know how much I appreciate it, but it's kind of cool.
You know, one thing I love about our last session is I always love taking Colton by surprise, but no one expects a vampire to use a daylight spell on itself.
No kidding.
Cassandra's such a crash out when it comes to vampires.
Yeah, I would say.
She's like, I'm gonna drink this potion, and I'm gonna say fuck you to everybody. You know, so that's why you held off that potion for so long. Yep, crash out episode. Absolute crash out episode.
Yeah, god damn. Ah, there I am.
I got a new laptop, and for some reason, like my D&D Beyond is not working, and I just created a new account, and it's still like not working. So sorry, everybody. That's what we're trying to figure out.
What browser
No
are you
worries.
using?
Chrome.
You So the whole reason why I switched to Opera GX was because I was having issues in D&D Beyond in both Microsoft Edge and Chrome. Like none of the two worked.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I use Chrome and it works fine.
And I'm not saying like it's gonna work bad for everybody, but like for me, like that's what it was. Like Opera GX fixed my issue. I don't have issue in D&D Beyond anymore.
Okay, all right, we're back in action. Sorry about that, everybody. Basically, because she was signed in under my account on her old laptop, but now that she's using her actual laptop, she couldn't like manipulate the character sheet because she wasn't like part of the game. So we just had it worked out, and everything's fine.
Fixed it.
All right, are you guys ready?
Absolutely.
Okay. So yeah, as you guys are taking a short rest, I'll kind of give you guys the floor. I will mention, as you spend the next hour, we'll say it gets to about 4:30, 4:45, and that setting sun, like, starts to line up almost perfectly where the large stained glass sun window is at the front of the temple here, and it casts a almost it almost like kind of magnifies the light into a concentrated beam that hits the pool that is in the center of the room.
Oh yeah, Cassandra's definitely like standing in the shadows with her blue eyes, kind of just watching.
Oh, I mean, outside of that, you're just fine to walk around in the room. Like there's no like direct sunlight here, unless if you stand directly in the center of the room. So
Oh,
you're
okay,
fine.
cool.
I was just, it just for flavor, and I'll give you guys the floor.
Mox is going to spend the time when everybody's resting transcribing as much of what's on the walls into a journal to kind of be able to reference it again later and compare it to any other literature we come across.
How much time do you want to spend doing it?
As much time as we're going to be here. He would like to transcribe all of it, but...
Okay. All right. I'll say this. It was foolish of me to try and do a lore drop after a 4.5 hour long combat. But now that you're taking the time, Mox, I'll give it a little more condensed version as you are going along. I'll say, if you want to be thorough, it's probably going to take you an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours.
Okay, I think that works because Mox wasn't like super hurting, so like he's just taking the time to kind of like decompress as he's
Sure. So, you kind of go through these series of panels before making any sort of like attempts to sort of like transcribe it to get more of an idea of like what this narrative that's trying to be told is. And even when you start to get an idea of what these panels are representing, you start to realize there are potentially large, considerable amounts of time that aren't necessarily portrayed between one panel and the next. With that being said, as you start to get a idea of what's on on the temple walls, it's your impression that the initial four symbols, the spiral, triangle, the flame, and what could only be interpreted as some sort of tree with a round top, you get the idea that these must represent some sort of primal elemental force of some kind. The following panel shows 7 figures all arriving in this sort of world, next to it carved with like the 4 symbols again that repeats. Upon closer inspection, 2 of them immediately stand out, one having what seems to be, and mind you, these carvings are relatively small, so there's not like a significant amount of detail. But with that being said, these 7 individuals that are carved, 2 of which you recognize to most likely represent Pelore and Melora. However, there are 5 other individuals that seem to be distinguished in their own certain ways that may or may not relate to some of the gods in the pantheon today. The next panel after that, you get the idea that there may have been some amount of conflict between these people that arrived here and the elemental sort of primal guys, but it seems like they have come into a sort of unity, essentially giving you the idea that there was some sort of like accordance made between the 2 entities. Upon which the next panel would show a plethora of different shapes of humanoids carved into the stone with imagery that evokes like the sort of 7 individuals that had arrived there sort of like creating life. After which a series of panels shows 5 other individuals that show up to this world, much like in the beginning. These, however, are individuals that sort of see morality in a different light, and the following panels would sort of show what could only be like corruption. Upon which one of the more majestic pieces in this mural of carved stone shows a uprising of what is essentially mankind, the life that was created by these original individuals, fighting against these primal elemental deities, if you will. After which, the last piece in the mural is what could only it is that the individual carved into the stone is a large piece, allowing slightly more detail to show up, and it shows an individual ascending from the ground, going to what looks to be like some sort of mass in the sky. And this gives you the impression of potentially this stone tablet is referencing the Solarian Empire.
Ooh, neat.
You said something about gods coming to unity. Were there specific ones, or was it all of them seem to be coming into unity?
If you want, you can make a religion check, because yeah. But specifically to answer your question, the original 7 people that arrived were the ones that made an agreement with the elemental forces.
Oh, okay. That was a 16.
Okay, actually, I'm realizing now the type of question you were asking doesn't necessarily warrant a.
Yeah, to be honest,
religion
you
check.
answered it in describing, which is all
and
I
I
needed.
realized that because like I initially interpreted your question in a different way, and that's why I asked for a religion check. But yeah, sorry to give you that big old dump, but
I asked for it. Literally.
Oh, it's getting steamy in here.
That's what I tell my toilet too.
So, Mox, any thoughts, or would you like me to move on to others as I'm?
Not at the moment. He's basically just trying to conceptualize what he's reading. A lot of this is stuff that the group has been more or less alluding to of what we've already read and everything, but this seems to give the clearest picture of how things became essentially than we've ever seen. So,
We'll see here. Is anyone else taking a short rest outside? I know Via did. Cass, Zap, were you taking a short rest?
No, I just gave a nice heal over to Endless.
Okay, so while everyone else is taking a short rest, what would you like to be doing? You do notice Mox sort of going along the walls of the temple, and everyone else kind of taking it easy.
I think Zaphreal is going to take some time to not necessarily meditate, but to reflect on like his own growth. In that fight, he came very close to relying on anger and instead broke through with the aid of Cassandra. And
Cool.
he's just going to ruminate on that.
Yeah, and the more you sort of emotionally connect with that sort of moment as you sort of circle your thoughts around it, you feel a mighty amount of what's the word? You just feel this warm heaviness almost on your shoulders, and Cord is very proud of you in this moment.
I accept the praise, but change nothing in my posture and just continue to reflect.
As you are. Throg, were you taking a short rest? I don't imagine you would have to, but...
Yeah. He's not really one of those religious mumbo jumbo types. He's more speaks with his fist, so I guess he'll take a short rest. He'll just kind of sit down while everybody's doing this.
Okay. Endless, I also wanted to give you the floor. I know you're taking a short rest, but if there's anything you'd like to do in the meantime before we sort of get to the next bit.
Who are you talking to?
Endless? Oh, also Fia. We're still trading around the table.
Okay, yeah, no, English was just done his short rest. Sorry, I don't have anything to really add because I'm currently dying with a coughing fit.
No worries.
COVID sucks.
What about you, Fia? I asked her right as she put crunchies in her mouth.
Stay. Go.
Okay, so I have notes from last session, and I think you just told Mox most of these things. But I just want to, like, kind of also look around with Mox and see if I picked up anything different. But I saw the 4 symbols of swirl, triangle, tree, flame, and beings visited these 4 entities. Elementals being combative with humanoids, final painting / sculpture, distinctly from Pelore and Melora.
If you want, as you're sort of taking your short rest, notes.
Yeah. Sorry. We'll just pretend like I told you all these things that we found. Was there anything I missed?
Sorry, who are you talking to?
You, Mhox. Sorry.
Well,
I can repeat if you need me to.
I think that covers the broad strokes of what I'm getting out of here. I think it's one of those, after transcribing it, reviewing it, and kind of interpreting is going to be the key to making out the most of it. But it seems like both the gods that we know and elemental forces were at the beginning. They formed some sort of agreement, and then the rise of mankind came after that. A later group of deities came into this plane of existence that didn't necessarily align with this previous group, causing corruption, eventually leading to some sort of uprising of mankind, leading to their ascension into the sky. Based off of what little bit we know, this could be the primordial time up to the rise of the Solarian Empire.
Okay. So basically, the gods we know and the elementals came together, and then humans kind of destroyed that.
Well, and that's where it gets a little fuzzy. Is it mankind itself, or is it the corruption from these later gods that come in? I am inclined to believe that the corruption from these gods led to the disenlightenment of mankind at that point, but religion isn't really my strong suit.
Okay. Thank you. I probably would not have been as good as piecing that all together as you were, so I'm glad we have you to study.
Well, the years spent with Blood Hunter Citadel made sure that I became studious at least in some fashion. Are you muted?
I was muted. Sorry, Cass. What about you? As they're sort of having this conversation about the beginning of all life, it seems. What would you like to be doing as you take your short rest?
After she healed Engless, she hasn't really said much since killing Sebastian besides her badass one-liner. She's gonna proceed to take her Shadow's Weave is gonna reveal her arm, and she's gonna bite into her fang, and she's going to start marking in her blood over their markings the symbol of the Raven Queen.
Nice.
With her blood.
Yeah, and much like Zaphreal, in this moment, you feel a very cold, but also warm embrace. It's a strange dichotomy of feeling, and the Raven Queen also gives you her approval.
She, feeling the embrace, her eyes just kind of look down as she just whispers, "I'll kill every single one of them. Every one."
And with that, as the next hour and a half goes by, we start getting to the point where y'all might want to maybe consider dinner and a course of action potentially. So, we'll say the sun now has nearly set beyond the horizon. We're sort of in the twilight era of light at the moment. And yeah, so I'll open it back up to you guys.
Cassandra is going to go over to Engless and kind of look him up and down. Are you healed yet, darling? Feeling better?
Sorry, I had a cookie in my mouth. Yes, Cassandra, I'm fine. Are you okay?
Fine. And she kind of looks to the side. I'm fine.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah. That man, Sebastian. She was one of my top, and well, killing him, seeing him, has just shifted my perspective on my path currently.
I understand. And what can I do to help you?
And help me kill them all the way up to Ambrosia. And then I'm going to take his power and weaponize his legacy on all the creatures of the night.
Sandra. Something has been stewing around my mind for a while.
Yeah.
And if you say no, the answer is no. But I want you to turn me.
I'll do it, English, but 2 stipulations.
Of course.
2 of them. The next time we are in a city, you're gonna come with me on a hunt. I'm not talking about fighting bandits and then drinking them. That's easy. That is... It's like a cow going to a steakhouse and going, please, eat me. No. You will come with me when we're looking for the bad people. And you're going to watch. Because I need you to understand, baby. As she kind of like puts her hand under your chin. When you become what I am, and I have accepted it, thanks to all of you, I have, but I've also accepted the parts that you will fall in love with. You can't help it. It's like a cat playing with a mouse. And it's fun. The fear, it's fun when you hear their heart go faster and faster. And when that last bit of blood spurts out from the last heartbeat, it's the best. And you'll love it. No matter how much you want to hate it, you love it. You will change into that, Agnes. You will think about your friends as I have. I've thought about all of you. In my moments of hunger. What that last bit of blood spurting out would taste like, the deepest part.
Well, I got it down. You'd be thinking about me, but yeah.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah, you guys are just like talking about this right in front of everyone. Not that it's private, but it's funny.
But yeah, I think about eating people too, but it's they don't taste great.
The second stipulation. Actually, there's 3. The second one is you need to tell everybody. And I mean everyone. And you're gonna hear a lot of no's, a lot of disagreements. The third stipulation, my sweet. If you can't control yourself, I will kill you with holy fire of the Raven Queen. Because I will not let you make another little girl not have her family, English.
Cassandra, I know with you by my side, I will be okay.
I'll help you like I helped Richard.
Would anyone else like to come in on this? Or step in?
Zaphreal will not comment.
Yeah, as long as you don't hurt nobody, I don't care.
Oh, he will.
He had
Well,
just.
then I care.
Sorry, I just roll my eyes, is all.
As the evening begins to go on, it's at this point, I think you guys should decide if you want to stay the night here or fly back.
I'm good for whatever.
It's your call, our studious leader.
Yeah, Engels kind of looks around the room and says, I think it'd probably be wiser to start heading back.
So as you all begin to pack up your things, maybe some of you need to
Cassandra,
snack just
I'm
a bit.
hungry.
We, as you, we'll say it takes you about an hour and a half to coordinate and get back to the airship itself. And unless if you guys would like to have certain combos tonight, we can fast a 2-day, maybe a day and a half travel. So it's up to you guys. We can spend some time on the airship, or we can fast travel to Windshire.
There's some things I want to do while on the ship. If anyone wants to have conversations with Cassandra, she'll be in her wagon the whole time.
Well, let's just take a quick vote. Everyone say aye for quick travel. And yeah.
I'm indifferent, so
We all like role play, so I mean, I'm down for whatever.
I would like to have one conversation at least, but that's all.
Yeah, I'm pretty down for whatever, but if you need to fast track us, I'm okay with that.
Okay. Well, I'll allow whatever conversations want to happen. Maybe I just might not just go around the table. So if you want to do something, just speak up. Otherwise, we will start off with Zaphreal and his conversation. What exactly were you wanting to work on, Cass?
She needs to actually. Before I answer that, quick question to the DM: in this world, has technology already reached the point of making steam
No.
or
Well,
vaporizing liquids?
You know, actually, technically, yes, but like, it's not necessarily a technology known to the common man.
Okay, with
No,
Cassandra
just
being
one man.
well, Raiden is making the grenade part, so he's probably taking care of that. She's just making holy water and the water is going to be like a kind of a slight purplish, very dark purplish because it's the Raven Queen. And then she's working on studying the potion that makes you immune for damage because she still has one left over, and she's trying to learn how to replicate it.
Okay.
She's already worked on it before, but she's working on it again.
I guess. Do we have a tool check for this, or?
I guess the alchemy with an advantage because I'm an alchemist.
I'll say this. Just go ahead and roll an intelligence check with your proficiency bonus attached to it.
Well, I have an alchemist tool check.
Oh, you do? Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Just roll that.
Okay.
I forgot that was something we may have added.
That's okay. Damn, I almost hit an 18. That would have been great. 16.
As far as being able to ascertain specific components, it's been difficult. Invulnerability potions, as far as like skill in crafting them, is more of a higher tier than your standard lesser healing potion, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Let me. Okay, let me look something up real quick. Hold on. I'll say this much: you are able to ascertain that the magic enchantment or quality to this potion binds with what seems to be some form of liquid iron.
Liquid iron. Okay.
So that might give you an angle to go into more further research, but you didn't quite roll high enough to get anything super significant.
That's okay. I'll put that. And then there is actually a conversation I want to have later, but that's what I'm doing for most of the days.
Okay. Like I said, it's only about a day and a half worth of travel. You guys will be showing up in the mid-afternoon after all this. Zaphreal, who would you like to speak to?
The night that we board the airship, I'd like to go up to Fia wherever Fia is at.
Fia, where would you like to be?
If Tesla is still around, I'll be probably on the balcony just with Tesla, just hanging out.
Fia, I hope I'm not disturbing.
Oh no, not at all.
Zaphreal will come up and like take a seat next to you, hanging his feet off the guardrail. Things have been pretty rough for you lately.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel a little bit more confused than anything. I'll probably just have to sit with it for a little bit. I guess ultimately the dragons were just trying to steal the Phoenix power. Or dragons, vampires. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I was hoping to find more answers about Troxy and I think I was surprised to learn about all the things. Very interesting to find out how far back the vampires go, trying to take over Pelore and Melora. Just kind of a lot to take in.
I can agree with you there. It seems like the adventures that we're going on these days have a much larger scope than they used to.
Yeah, that's for sure.
It's made me realize some areas of myself that I need to improve, that I didn't have the foresight sooner. I just wanted to check in, Fia, and you almost died. Not only during the fight, but also prior to even arriving to the temple. I just want to make sure that you were okay. I'm sorry I wasn't there to defend you.
Oh, yeah, don't even sweat it. To be honest, that's not even the part that got to me that much. I guess I just kind of knew we'd figure that part out. It's just, mostly been the weight of it all. But what's been cool to think about is now we might change the pattern. Although Cassandra still sees herself as a monster, our kind has supposedly been fighting for a really long time, and now we're friends. So, maybe we're at the end of this cycle.
We certainly can be. Whatever is going on, I'm not sure what side to believe, whether the etchings in the walls were true, whether they were fabrications, or if it was a start to finding deeper information. I'm not sure. But whatever it is, there are some compelling findings that we came across. And I worry that the hardships that both you, Christ, what's his name?
Quentin?
Quentin, yes, sorry. The hardships that you and Quentin just went through. There really are other elemental representations out there. Do you think that they have gone through the same thing and may not have been so lucky?
Yeah, I've wondered the same, and Throg made a comment. I mean, we may have to get him for more context, but he said he isn't sure that water and wind couldn't be another entity. So, thinking that they could be connected potentially, which is interesting.
From whatever was discovered, maybe we have to look into the Solarian Empire. Potentially find answers from the root of the problem.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. See if we can. How we followed ours backwards, see if we can follow the other two symbols the other direction. But yeah, I wonder if it's the same as like having another being or so. So I don't know. There's a lot more to my history than I ever would have thought.
Yeah. I just wanted to check in on you. I don't want you putting your whole self into Quentin, although he is important. You're important as well.
Yeah. I haven't even necessarily checked on Quentin since we got back on the ship. So now that you mention him, maybe I should. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Quentin and I we don't have that same connection yet as Troxy. Obviously, we still had, that spiritual life lineage connection or whatever that is, however you want to put it. But I just wish I guess I knew more about what happened to him, because he just, it's almost like I grew into, like, I was 16, so I knew who I was kind of before the Phoenix powers kicked in. And I don't know what happened with Quentin, but it seems like he's very overtaken by them. He's very protective of me, which I don't necessarily mind, but he just does it a little blindly. And I just wonder, because he was so confused when we met him. And so I wonder, like, did he just wake up all of a sudden with the awakening of having that life? I don't know. I wonder about what's going on with him. But either way, I'm not like, trying to siphon myself off with just me and Quentin, especially just yet. I do think, maybe there's a deeper meaning, a deeper purpose that we have together, but I think we can find that out together as a group. I don't think we necessarily need to go off by ourselves just yet. We'll see what the future calls for, though.
From what I remember of Troxy, she talked about this great bear that was a mother figure. And maybe Troxy is taking that place, but it just makes me wonder what Quentin is learning. And if we're holding him back or not.
Yeah, I'm with you. I wonder the same thing, because and I just don't know if maybe it's because he's the next generation and he knows what's coming better than I do. I don't know how this all works. But he seems very much more like we need to be connected, which I did realize is the case with Troxy, but for some reason it seems very strong on his end. And I wonder what that's about.
I'm glad you're doing fine. We just don't talk very often.
Yeah, thanks for checking in. I appreciate it.
Have a good night.
You too.
The camera will sort of pan back with Zaphreal as he is through. We'll bring it back to Cass. You said you wanted to talk to someone?
Yeah, there's 2 conversations I wanted to have.
Oh, 2 now.
Yeah, I forgot there was another one that I wanted
That's
to have.
fine. That's fine.
The first one is well, is English sleeping in her cabin? Like, is that where Aegon's? Which is fine. Just want to about the melted iron. She looks to English for a minute and then kind of looks back. You sure you want to be a vampire?
I'm never sure of anything.
Even
The one thing that I
clever.
know for certain is, I mean, I know I'm gifted with naturally long life, but eventually that's going to run out.
Yes. I guess she kind of smiles, but it's kind of like a bit of mad smile. I get my existence. But do you want any children in your life before your turn?
Without skipping a beat, English says no.
Good. Just wanted to be sure. We could attempt to make a half breed. And she kind of like smirks a little bit, if possible. But good. That was probably the biggest thing I was worried about.
I have Jeffrey and Xehtom.
Only be less than a blink in your life.
I know.
Okay. I need to go. She kind of closes her book. What time is it right now?
I mean, it could. This conversation could be happening at any point in time if you want. If you want it to be the first night, then it's happening the first night.
First night, okay. After
Okay.
she says that, she'll give a kiss to Inglis and give him a health potion. I'm hungry. I'll be back just a little bit. She kind of winks and she walks out of her cabin. She's gonna look for Throg and Zaphreal.
Together?
Yep.
Throg and Zaphreal, please describe how you guys are briefly interacting before Cassandra comes to
I would 100% see some kind of workout session going on.
Okay, sure. Zaph, you
It's
want to
my
give it some
vision.
curls or whatever?
Yeah, Zaphreal's trying to convince Throg to do his workout blindfolded.
Oh, it does not take any convincing thoughts. Like, this might make it harder to get those pumps. Ugh.
It makes you it makes you focus on what is really burning rather than what you can see.
Oh yeah, I feel it right here in the biceps. You can feel it at the elbow. That pump.
Please have the floor, Cassandra.
She's just watching this with an arched eyebrow. Her face is a lot more serious than it was when she was talking to Engless and them, and she's just like watching this interaction. Is this normal behavior?
You're a champion of the Raven Queen, are you not? Can you not prepare for battle?
Well,
Yeah, exactly. You have to have your pumps and blood flow going.
There's a reason why I can run as fast as I can, Cassandra.
you
Oh my
are
god.
ridiculous in that way. Your thighs are bigger than my head. It's kind of insane.
What do
Actually,
you need?
I came to talk to you about the very subject you brought up. I need to prepare for battle with Ambrosia.
I immediately drop my messing around face and put on the good old stoic Zaphreal face.
I want you and Throg to spar with me as much as we can, in the sense of you two versus me, and almost kill me.
I hope you know what you're asking, Cassandra.
Yeah.
Before.
I know exactly what I'm asking for. You two are easily the biggest challenge. Fighting Ambrosia. I'm strategically planning for that fight, but I need to be ready. He will be something we all need to be ready for. And fighting you 2-on-1, as much as I can, will get me there.
Sure, why
Practice for
not?
Ambrosia.
Would you
I'm
say that?
going, if this is practice for Ambrosia, I would assume that he has more practice facing vampires than any of the three of us combined. I'd imagine he has some dirty tricks up his sleeve for fighting ones of his own kind, so I will do the same to you.
Good. Because the thing about me, Zaph, as you all currently saw, I'm a bit of a crash out when it comes to vampire of my own bloodline. I'm gonna pull out the same dirty tricks against him that a paladin would use.
I don't really have spells, but I'll throw as hard as I can. And I'll just throw as really hard.
And then
You want me to try and kill you, right? We're saying that's fine?
to the closest line. Yes.
Okay.
And then, after we do that for the next few times, Zaph, I need help training with aerial combat with Dracon.
Why don't you have Dracon's shadow Knowledgerin in the sky while we fly?
I like that. As she kind of looks up, way up to the sky, where Dracon's flying above. He agrees.
I send out a mental whistle and have Knowledgerin droop from the storm clouds above.
Sure.
I sent out a mental command to give adequate training.
Sure.
Cass tells Dracon to shadow mirror what? What's your Knowledgerin?
Knowledgerin.
Yeah, to shadow them.
So, as far as the narrative is concerned, I think we should use this as a training montage when we're not on the airship.
No, yeah, that's her plan because she's working on the potion the whole time. But when
right.
and then she's is gonna say, awesome. I need to go to a major city to look at some liquid iron and some other things. I've already talked to Engless about it, and if the whole group wouldn't mind at some point, I do need to go.
Well,
Okay.
I'm not opposed. We currently don't know exactly where to go. The major city would be a good place to start to find maybe where.
Plus,
But-
it's been a while since you've been to the bank.
We have some errands that we could run in a major city. We'll probably head back to Yoram, see how the old headquarters is doing. Maybe you would want to talk to Raiden, see if he could help you find a source for liquid iron.
Oh, that is actually a good idea, because I'm already collabing on him a little bit regarding that. So, that could be good, yes.
Yeah, he's kind of the smart guy. I feel like he's honestly smarter than most of us here. But yeah,
It's the
Just-
crack in his skull.
Yeah.
you know, I've noticed that's been getting smaller some days, but larger when he's more stressed out.
Well, you do keep doing this, and we'll convene later. I need to go.
All right,
I need to go.
all right, Zaphreal. Oh, go for it.
Oh no, she's gonna go eat on English.
Can I? This is more meta, but I'd like to have it like the conversation in character, however it would translate. I want to like practice like this doesn't have to be anything we go over right now, but I want to practice a maneuver with Throg of like the fourth Hokage's like teleporting Rasengan, like he throws the cannonball and I teleport behind and stab as it connects.
Sure. You know, I think any amount of free time, I think might take a couple tries, but we could, just like how Pocket and Endless had their like secret handshake feat that I ended up making that he never used once. We could do something similar.
We've used it.
Okay. So, but yeah,
Oh shit.
that could be done. Okay, I'll give one last second to Indiana Jones grab your hat before the door closes. Anybody else, or are we back at Windshire?
All right, Zaphro, get on the bench. 1,000 pounds. Let's go.
So, with that being said, as you all are taking the time to enjoy the ride, oh wow, my wife arrived with things. Hold, please.
Oh, Crush Man's head.
Okay. Thank you. We'll say you guys arrive. Coming down the Meadoff Peaks, you ended up having a very favorable wind at your backside, so it really increased the amount of time you would be traveling. So, as opposed to arriving around lunchtime in Windshire, you all are getting there about 9:30 in the morning. So, just about as everyone has woken up from their slumber, I need to ask one meta question to the two potential, So, Endless, are you committing to being turned right now? What I need to know is, if you are, I need you to know that there is going to be a indeterminate amount of time that you are just like zonked out. It's been about what it took Richard, is that his name?
Yeah, I think like 3 days. I think.
I mean, he was like sleeping for like almost a week and a half.
Yeah, I was
before
gonna say
he,
it was like 3 sessions.
Yeah, so like
Yeah, yeah.
I just want you to know that if you are committing to that, that is also what that will mean. And I'm not saying this as a way to deter you, but mechanically, that's kind of what will be the case.
Okay. No,
So what
like,
will it be?
we're gonna commit to it.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
I need to work on a potion anyway, so I mean, like, Cassandra's got time.
No, over the day and a half, because he's your lover and also because you care. You go about it in as least harmful way as possible, as much as it can be.
You will be.
And so we'll say over the day and a half of your travel, a little over a day, you're able to like get him.
Oh, not yet.
Okay. I
No,
She
thought
had the
that's what was
condition
happening.
he needed to go on a hunt with her first.
Like, she wants to show him
Gotcha.
what's the part of him that's gonna change and the part that he's gonna love, or no matter how he like. She wants to show him the real
Sure.
trueness of being a vampire before he role play sense makes his decision.
Okay, cool. I missed that part. So with that being said, can we get some town-like music potentially? Perfect. So, as you guys arrive in Windshire, we'll say that there are already an enclave of Emerald Grove druids in anticipation of Quentin's arrival. By the time Quentin and all you guys make it back, his composure has mostly been recovered from the drain that was refilling the pool back at the Phoenix Temple. And he is very persuaded, one from his own ambition and the druids there for him, to go back to the Emerald Grove. So he will do so. And we'll say that, like, just to brush it over, we can say that you guys ate breakfast in the keep, or what is the keep as of now. And we'll say, as breakfast is, I guess, winding up, I'll give everybody the floor. What's the plan? I need to know what's happening as a DM. It's still not clear.
Cass needs to go to Raiden, and then go to a big city to do alchemy research, the hunt, and look up some books about vampirism and the transfer of power, things like that. She's got some things she's got on her mind.
Okay.
At some point, it's not like dire, but I want to find grave bones and lock and key, and just check on their well-being.
Okay. Anybody else?
I'd like to take a trip to the medical ward and see how progress has gone along with my inquiry about the possibility of more or less plastic surgery.
Yeah.
And share some insights that I've thought of.
Okay. Well, I'll send you with Fia, because Lock and Key are now employees of the infirmary. But let me just add more to the pile. Is anybody else wanting to do something here in Windshire specifically?
I'll fill the time if we spend time here, but at a minimum, I think Mox would want to make sure Quentin is where he needs to be, and then probably confirm with him on whether or not we need to drop off some of the druids from the Emerald Grove back at the temple, because the note I had was that we only had it 50% refilled in the well, and he needed the other druids to go back.
Yeah, okay. As far as timeline goes, I'll slot you in right before the druids escort him back to the Emerald Grove for conveniency. Anybody else?
I think outside of just petting and loving on some Scruffy, Throg will just kind of tag along with Mox. He doesn't really have any plans.
Okay, cool. Endless, did you want to do anything specifically in Windshire before we because the closest major city is going to be Urim. So, yeah. If not, totally fine. Just throwing.
Yeah,
Just giving you the chance.
I don't think there's really anything that English wants to do. Actually, English does want to have a conversation with Zaf.
Okay, so in order of events, we're going to start off with Dawn. Excuse me, Mhox. We'll go to Endless approaching Zaphreal for your conversation. After which, we will see what Fia and Zaf are up to when they go to the infirmary. Additionally, Fia finding great bones. So, Mhox. Almost about 30 minutes after landing in Windshire, you get the moment to speak to Quentin before he is essentially ported out of here.
Quentin, I just wanted to confirm timelines with you before you head back to the Grove. How long do you need before heading out again? I know the party is interested in heading to a major city, but I know you had mentioned that you wanted the druids to head back to the temple. I'm assuming we could stop off in the big city and send the druids on their way and reconvene.
Oh, yeah, yes, of course. And you can see that he is not necessarily thrown off by your topic of conversation, but a reminder of the situation at large. And he looks to you. I think we should send druids there right now. It would be more effective if I were the one to be there, but it calls too much for me, so I can have that arranged.
How
There
many
some-
airships do we have? Just the one, right?
Just the one for right now. In a month and a half, you'll have two.
What I was implying, Quentin, was that they could travel on airship with us to the major city, and then they go to the temple from there, get dropped off, and then the airship can reconvene with us at the city so that they can make the travel faster.
Actually, they would technically be a little bit closer here in Windshire than Huron because of how far up the coast the city actually is. Basically, they would need to borrow the airship after you guys are done using it.
Yeah, that's more or less what I was implying. Is they would go
Okay,
up, they would
yeah.
get dropped off because I assume they're going to be there longer than like a day or so.
Right. Yeah, that could work. Actually, he just looks at you. Actually, yeah, that really takes a load off of my plate. I don't know when you guys plan to leave, but I can get a small party put together before that.
I'm not sure either, but I know several of the group are itching to get moving towards making progress with the gods and the vampires. We still have so many unknowns, and the only way to find more information is to go somewhere that has it. And while I love my time here in Windshire, it lacks in that department.
It lacks in a lot of things. That's why I prefer my grove. But yes, I'll do this at once. And he kind of like kicks his foot a little bit. Sorry for doubting the group. You guys are more than capable. And he kind of like gives you a very polite druidic bow.
No worries, Quentin. You only know what you know. And a lot of times you have to see it first to truly believe it, so.
He just kind of gives you a little nod of the head and goes on his way.
After that, Mox is... I'm assuming at some point we'll reconvene to kind of talk timetables with everybody as a group. But outside of that, he would spend some time with Teddy, detailing the most recent events so that he can work on the book that he's kind of prepping for Tesla, and then working on his sort of like house area and kind of like the foundation for the
Sure.
Bloodhunter Citadel. But I'm assuming we got about a day, the way it
Yeah,
sounds
if
as a
that.
group.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Okay.
I have a quick meta question. I forgot what was going on with Quentin and the Druids.
he's getting recharged.
Yeah, Quentin, after filling the pool back at the Phoenix Temple, is pretty drained. He's gained his
50%.
composure. Yeah. Oh, well, sorry. I keep wanting to exaggerate. Yeah, 50%. But yeah, it's more of a matter that he needs to recharge, and there are other matters that the Emerald Grove is dealing with that haven't necessarily been brought to the party's attention. So that much you're not sure what's going on as far as what else he's dealing with. But
Is Quentin going to be traveling with us? Because I wanted to check
No.
in with him, but I figured if he'd be traveling with us, I wouldn't.
his plan is to remain at the Emerald Grove. So if you wanted to have a conversation with him, you could.
Okay, I can wait till before we leave, like when we're in my piece.
Okay. All right. So Endless, you wanted to have a conversation with Zaph. So please have the floor.
You kind of approach Zaphreal as he's. So we arrived in the morning.
Yeah. So by the time he's getting to you, it's probably like maybe 10:30, maybe close to 11.
You approach Zaphreal over by the training yard, standing in parade rest, like hands clasped behind back and at a feet shoulder width apart, watching over the training regimens for the morning routine.
It's pretty impressive, Zaphreal. Hendrickson has really put these guys into good shape. And you are reminded that you made a good choice making him your squire.
I'll make a quick glance at eye contact with Hendrickson and give a salute.
He just respectfully gives you a nod of the head like he would as your squire. And you see Endless come up on your right side.
Zaphreal.
Doesn't he just make you proud?
Always.
It seemed like only yesterday, pulling him for the brink of darkness, fighting him above this very city, and now, look at him now, Commander.
You've done well, Zaphreal.
He's done well. What can I do you for, Endless?
I need to know where you stand on this decision of mine, because beforehand when we spoke, it kind of seemed like you were on board with it, but earlier, the expression on your face makes me worry.
Zaphreal will wait for you to speak.
Not to be that guy, but technically, I don't think that conversation was had in front of Zaphreal.
It was had in the room.
Oh,
during
that's right.
short
Okay,
rest.
yeah, okay, never mind. I'm stupid. Please continue.
Zaphreal, I do intend to allow Cassandra to turn me. We had to speak not long ago about possible further commitment to her.
Yes. Endless, it's not exactly unexpected. I mean that in the best of way. What other way could you commit your life to someone immortal other than to remove your mortality?
Damn.
When I married my beloved, the way that accordance happens in the celestial plane, it is not a commitment of a lifetime. It's a commitment of eternity. If you choose to make this choice, I know within my own heart the dangers which a vampire can unintentionally cause when they're first turned, even ones that have been turned for some time, unintentionally. Are you prepared for those consequences? Because that may very well destroy what you've built up to so far.
I am. I feel and I trust. With Cassandra by my side, I can get through this.
As your ally, Endless, I support you. As your friend, when are you going to marry her? Because now you're going to have all this time.
I'm ready for that as soon as she is.
If you're asking me, a lot of this responsibility falls on Cassandra's hands. Not with the marriage, but with the turning. She ultimately has the choice.
I guess you're right.
So, if she's willing to make that step,
I understand what you're saying, Zaphreal.
I have
So-
devoted my service to you, Endless. I just hope that this decision does not make that a regret for me.
You've
I
taught me a
trust
lot.
you.
Thank you. You've taught me a lot. Without you, Without you, Zaphreal, I don't know where I would have been. Still running from the dudes with the weird hats, that's for sure. I don't intend to let anybody down.
Most importantly, yourself, right?
Correct.
But then I have one more thing to make you consider before you make this choice. There's a potential the Holy Avenger could reject you as its host. You may be the beginnings of a paladin, but will your actions be accepted by your god?
That's a risk I'm going to have to find out. And I've thought about that. I've thought about it a lot. And if it comes down to it, I know who I would pass it along to.
If your decision ever falters, I have a suggestion.
Yes.
DM Secret Space. Colton, do you want to join us down here?
Yeah, I gotta be part of it.
Look at Juicy. What the fuck?
Okay.
Man, I wasn't paying enough attention. What just happened?
You fucked up.
Endless is more or less implying that he is willing to pass on the mantle of leader of the Standing Bear if he ends up not being able to hold on to the Holy Avenger after being turned.
Oh.
The only person I think that would be able to go to would be Fia if we're going off of experience in the group.
Fucking be a holy fire paladin. Phoenix.
Speaking of Fia, Van, Raiden, I've been excited to give you Raiden's gift.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
I can. I don't know.
Though I'm concerned Colton might not remember us talking about it. It was more in passing last time Raiden was in the group that he was going to make a teleportation item for Fia to have.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll remember that.
Yeah. Well, I've been trying to decide the last few weeks what the item would look like, anyways.
You guys see, as the camera sort of swooshes back into the starry night, the voices of Endless and Zaphreal become more muffled as we see a beautiful starscape with a nearly full moon and a small crescent moon that follows after it. And we cut back to Zaphreal and Endless grasping at the arms in agreement. As we move on, however, Fia and Zaph, you guys wanted to go to the infirmary.
Yeah, I leave the training grounds and I see Fia walking down the path.
DM.
Oh, hey, Zaph. Oh, go on.
Sorry, I just wanted to cut in real quick. DM, at some point, Angus does have something that he wants to do, but he kind of wants to do it in private with you.
With me?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, go for it.
Hey, I'm just heading to see Lock and Key. Last I heard they were, last I checked in, I guess they were not doing so well in the infirmary, and now I hear they're running your little unit. So interested to see what has changed with them.
Unironically, I think that their skill sets would fit a medical ward very well.
100%. That's why it makes me raise my eyebrows, because it's one of those things you'd never think about until you see it, and then you're like, oh, it totally relates.
I'll join you then.
Yes, let's see what's going on over there, progress that has been made.
You did.
As you guys make your way through the town, a lot of development has been happening over the last couple of weeks, especially the last month or two. We're starting to get into the next winter, so a lot of construction has been going as fast as they can before the ground freezes. And there are a number of residential houses that have been built. Not a lot, but at least enough to count on one hand. The infirmary has also been recently painted, and it looks very fresh. As you guys walk in, you immediately see Lock and Key both speaking now, talking to a series of different Graveborn that are experiencing what seems to be joint pain. The whole other wing that you have determined for like the plastic surgery side of the wall, I guess, there has now been a wall that's been constructed with a door with a opaque rectangular window glass in it. Going in on the other side, you just see a handful of essentially what could be operating tables and some lab techs that are currently filling out some paperwork. So, what would you guys like to do?
I'd like to go to a water basin and very thoroughly cleanse my hands.
Sure.
Yeah, well, I was just gonna go find everybody, Lock and Key, but then when Zaphreal does that, she's like, oh yeah, maybe I should be a little sanitary, and like follow suit.
Sophia washes her hands out of social obligation.
It's stupid.
Seriously, that describes my life. But I obviously don't take as long as Zaphreal. I'm like, man, what is this guy doing? Singing the alphabet? And like halfway through, I leave.
Yeah, you see me like roll up my robes that go all the way up to my elbows and like hold my hands up to let one of the other nurses just dry my hands.
Oh my gosh.
And I just kind of look at you like, okay, that's a little excessive. I mean, you are a surgeon. So I just am like, yeah, I'm not, and I'm going to move on.
I shouldn't be here for this.
A true surgeon having the nurses do your work for you.
I figured you would laugh. I figured you would appreciate that.
Yeah, I cringed when you said that.
Yeah.
After getting cleansed, Locke and T have finished up with the people that they're working with as they make their way over. Oh, hello, as Locke pronounces very under her breath still, almost not quite to the same degree, but that one chick from what's that movie called? Sing-along camp at school. What's it called?
Oh, where he
shit.
fucks the pie?
No. Sing acapella. What's the fucking
Oh, Pitch Perfect, the
Pitch
one.
Perfect?
Perfect,
He
yeah.
kept
That
guessing.
Asian girl who talks really quiet.
Beatboxer, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, they sort of approach you, and Key just says, "Hi, how's it going?" They both seem pretty like socially inept. They're getting used to the whole talking thing.
Yeah. I'm pretty good. How about you guys? Last we spoke, you were kind of just sticking around for grave bones, but it kind of looks like you have found your footing. How are you guys liking it?
Locke sort of speaks up. Oh yeah, I mean, I think we've just really found our own here, and especially after Gravebones told us that, she planned on staying here for a certain reason, and Key looks over at Locke and just giving the impression that they maybe shouldn't be talking about specifically what Locke just said.
She is gonna pretend like she didn't hear that. Maybe talk to Gravebones about that. But so you guys stayed for Gravebones, but now you like it? Like, would you continue staying just for yourself?
They look at each other. They seem mostly confident as they shake their head at you in unison.
It's a nod.
Oh, shake. Oh, nod. God damn it. Yeah, you're right. Fuck me.
Um,
Yeah, Don, I don't need to know what it looks like.
Well, guys, I'm glad. I was worried about you guys, but I'm glad you found. I think this is a perfect little spot for you guys. And then glad you found your footing and you guys like it here.
And they both kind of, in a also a socially awkward way, give you like a half hug at the same time.
I embrace it and say, no, let's make it a group hug and make them feel more awkward.
Yeah, they just kind of, you can just hear them making little sounds about it. Zaphreal.
Zaphreal says off to the side, like, social obligation, am I right, Pia?
Zaph, what did you want to check on out while you were here?
I kind of laugh at the awkwardness and just, respectfully try to pass by and go over to the plastic surgeon's tent or section.
Yeah, we'll just call it the plastic wing.
I like it.
What would you like to do? You see there's 2 Graveborn lab techs, and there's 1 elf lab tech.
Hello, everyone.
And the other Graveborn just kind of, as the elf nurse just kind of, oh, hello.
So they're all retarded, all right.
Oh my god.
I came to stop by to see how research and development was going, as well as to throw a theory into your pot.
As you see the one Graveborn just flip a new page over their clipboard that they have.
You see, the skin on a face is hard to replicate, and oftentimes, if the wound is large enough, it will not heal right, and in fact will just scar instead. But we can't use the skin off of another, or if we did, it's a more delicate process, and the skin tone may not match completely. So, if you were to take a patch of skin from the thigh. The skin is looser in that area. It could either be stitched closed, or could even be left a scar there, ideally not, but we could match one skin to their face instead.
The one Graveborn looks to the other. Ah, and the other Graveborn just kind of like slaps their forehead, and you just see them like taking notes. But one of the one that's taking notes is just like scribbles. The elf, however, in the group, he is seemingly a more intellectually adept and seems to be potentially the one who's guiding this. But they're all taking notes under your talk.
Additionally, we need to find some implements, not necessarily pen and ink, but another a drawing utensil that can be used to draw directly onto the skin. That would not be, at least, permanent. We're going to be going to Urim soon. I'm going to see if we can find some other alternative. But if we can directly mark the exact size and shape of the graph we're needing to take from the thigh and apply that to the face, we won't have to do any guessing.
The elf man says, of course, yes. We'll start seeing what we could find here at Windshire, but if you can bring something back, that would be just great. But I think you've left a lot for us to chew on, as he nervously looks over at his colleagues.
I try to smile. That being said, I'm not sure if I'll be able to have much weight in Urim, but our reputation is spreading. I was hoping to share some of our studies with some of the medical facilities within Urim itself, see if our theory has any credence.
I mean, I'm sure people would like to look better.
Well, I mean, if we even consider not even just grafting damaged skin or lack thereof, pulling the skin tighter on the face.
Yes, and I hate to sound so malicious, but like, imagine a world where you could look like whatever you want without having to cast magic.
The end of magic, everybody.
Honestly,
It's coming.
If you were to go to a bard, I'm sure that they'd spin a couple of tales for you for that.
Well, thank you, Sir Zaphreal. And he bows and he kind of like, and the other Greyborn just kind of, oh, and they just kind of bow in respect.
I'm going to have Hendrickson. Granted, this won't be in the plastic wing. I would like to have some of our lieutenants or squad leaders train in medical treatment, so they can more easily fix each other on the battlefield should we ever be involved.
Yes, okay. I'm sure we could arrange something like that. I can see the immediate benefits.
Well, I appreciate the work that you're doing and the work that everyone is doing here. I would like you to keep your role as the apparent supervisor here.
Oh, great! As he just smiles nervously over at his companions, one of which is pulling a scalpel out of the other's head.
I love it so much. That you were?
Right. Fia, you said you wanted to talk to Gravebones?
Yeah.
Okay. You will find Gravebones in one of the houses that are actually built. This house, however, does not match the architecture of the other houses that are being built, because Gravebones built this herself, and it really shows. A lot of this structure is built for function aesthetics. However, you see her currently harvesting what seems to be small little pumpkins on the side of her little house that she has.
Wow, I love your house. I love that you've found your own little place here.
You see instantly her tail bush up as like you have surprised her, and she kind of jumps up like a cat would, and lands on her feet. Oh my gosh! So he startled me. Uh, she's pretty nice, and she slaps the side of the house, which unfortunately lets loose one of the 2x4s that were nailed up, and it falls down. Oh, don't worry about that. I was gonna work on that tonight.
So I just got done talking to Lock and Key, and it seems like they're pretty happy here. And now I'm over here, and it looks like you've settled down here as well. How are things going?
Oh, as she starts to like pluck her fingers out, and as she does, each finger, like a claw will come out of her fingertip, as she sort of like licks her paw and sort of rubs the back of her head. This place isn't too bad if you can get over all the groans.
Yeah. Also, Lock and Key have also, well, mostly Lock, but don't be mad at her. They have hinted that there's other reasons why you have stayed.
She immediately breaks eye contact to bend down with her pumpkins. Oh, sorry. I gotta put these away. I just got them off the vine. She picks up 3 of them, but struggles to pick up the 4th, which she just decides to come back for later. And
I'll come help her.
which immediately, go ahead and roll an insight check for me.
18, I think.
You, I mean, granted, you have a history with Grave Bones. You kind of know her, but with your question that you've asked and her the way she's reacting, she immediately feels a little uncomfortable and a little sort of skittish. As you pick up the 4th pumpkin, she just kind of, yeah, these pumpkins. And she goes around the corner to like put all of them in like what essentially is a large bin that's covered. Yeah, Lock and Key, ever since they started speaking, they just don't know what they're saying.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I mean, if you ever want to like talk about your real reasons,
She looks at the ground.
let me know. I feel like I have like a necklace of Pearl of Sending.
You do.
So I'll give her a pearl of that.
It's actually all in one go. It's like the pearl, like
Okay, never mind.
it's like the necklace or not. You know what I mean?
Okay. Never mind. Maybe we can ask Raiden to come up with a way that you can send me a message.
Oh, yeah, that might be nice. Yeah, for sure. If we ever need to talk about the weather.
The weather.
Sorry, I think I'm just feeling sick. I might have been harvesting pumpkins too hard or something.
Oh, brother.
All right. Well, I guess I'm glad you're enjoying your place here. Did she like? Did I walk into her house with her to put the pumpkins
Yeah,
away?
you it's essentially like a 1-bedroom. It's probably about like 800 square feet. It's not a huge place, but yeah, you've been in it. It's just now finished is the only thing that's changed. But as you say that, you see that Grave Bones now with like the conversation being within sight, at least the end of it. She kind of like, yeah. So we'll just like talk later.
Sure, yeah. When you're ready, because I caught you by surprise, but next time I'm in town, maybe I'll give you a little bit of notice, and you can show me all the little things you've done around here to make it your own.
Yeah. That sounds good. Okay.
All right, well,
Bye.
see you later.
And she just kind of closes her door to just like escape from the situation.
Another 2x4 pops out.
Yeah, actually, in fact, yeah, you hear that, and we'll say 2 of them fall down on the other side of the house, and from inside you hear. With that, we're going to come back to the group meeting for dinner. We'll say to talk about timeline. Oh,
I
yes.
wanted to talk to Raiden.
I'll have that be part of the dinner if you don't mind.
I didn't know you. Yeah.
I just want to take. We'll say, what time is it now?
No, you're good. I'm good with that. I didn't know.
We'll come back. I'm going to try and end the game at 10:30, but we might go a little later. Maybe not past 11, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But we'll come back at 9:46. Okay, so as you all meet up for dinner for the evening, Raiden has been asked to join you all, and we will pick it up there. Tonight's dinner, we'll say. Actually, what's Raiden's request for dinner tonight?
That's the call.
Raiden typically never eats, so
Well,
he
I
hasn't
know,
eats-
but you're the fucking team, so what's that gonna be?
What's he serving?
Man, what is he serving today? I think he's serving a more Italian kind of dish. I mean, it's not Italian in this world, but a spaghetti noodle type dish with meatballs.
Cool. We'll say the
Colton,
meatballs
let
are
me get a
extra
second
big
where you
for
look for
Grog.
DMs.
I mean, for Throg, rather.
Oh yeah, he gets like a double serving.
What was that, English? Sorry.
When you get a second, will you look at your DMs?
Oh, yes. Hold on.
Oh yes, please do.
Oh, I forgot, Clarissa. I'm sorry.
It doesn't have to be a huge thing. Like we can do it this way if you want.
I forgot that you asked that, so hold on.
Oh,
Okay.
what happened?
I'll say this. You can really, because it's what the heart is, it could be anything. But if you want a better chance, Urim would be the place to do that.
Okay.
No.
Because Windshire is like pretty bare bones, mind the pun.
Okay. Then
Oh.
we'll wait until you're in.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay, so Raiden, what was the food?
Spaghetti with meatballs.
Perfect. So, as it's served family style, so in a very large, like, we're talking like maybe 10-gallon sized bowl, is just served heaping full of noodles and tomato sauce with the spiced sort of Italian seasoned meatballs on the side for you to gather. So as you all are eating your dinner, I know Cassandra wanted to work some stuff out, and then I guess we'll send it over to Mhox to establish timeline stuff. But go for it, Cass. I'm giving you the floor to talk to Raiden.
She's gonna sit next to him, with her bowl empty. Kind of says noodles. Never
Yeah, she
seen
doesn't
noodles.
really pay you any mind. He's focused on a book he's reading.
No, that's fine. She just goes, and when I had my mortality, never seen that kind of dish. Where did you discover that, Lord Raiden?
What, the food we're eating right now?
Well, they're eating, but yes.
Well, it's a dish that came from my local town, I do believe, in my previous life, though the memories are vague.
Oh, that is better. How is you don't mind me asking, how have you been?
In what way? Kingly duty is a stressful and long job, but maybe for others.
Fair. I can respect that. Have you had any chance of working on that vaporized grenade we spoke about?
Yes, I've worked on it in my downtime. I think have it just nearly complete now.
Good. I actually, by my wagon, have actually purified a whole barrel of water made as holy.
I'll say this real quick on a meta level. We'll say with the amount of time that Raiden's able to put in, there's probably going to be about 2 more weeks
That's
or
fine.
so before any concrete stuff can be presented to, be used.
I've made the contraption. It works. Majority of the time it's used, but I still am working out kinks so it doesn't explode in your face.
That would be good. If you have any of your subjects who can grab that barrel, there'd be a whole barrel of holy water for you to use and to make set grenades.
Oh, well, Throg, whenever you're done eating, would you mind grabbing me that barrel? Throg just literally shoveling his plate into his mouth, just gives like a nod, like,
That's
And go ahead.
horrifying. She's just watching him just shovel so much food into his maw. Also, I appreciate the deal we've made with allowing me to make a Raven Knight's temple here.
Yes, how is that coming along?
I haven't had the time to report to Richard and my golems, but I think well on schedule from what I see from afar. I'll probably have to check in with him when I get back from Europe.
Interesting. What are you all heading for Urim for?
Well,
at that point, if you don't mind,
Go for it.
because now it's kind of tiptoeing into what Mox is probably going to bring up, so just give him a chance to pop in here.
Sure.
I don't want to step on any toes. I know that we want to head to Urim, and I think it is important that we do so. I briefly talked with Quentin before he went to the Emerald Grove. I do think making sure that he's privy to when we're departing, he would like to have the druids accompany us on the airship, and then they will take the airship from Urim to the temple, do what they need to, and send the airship back to us in Urim. So that way, all of us kind of get the benefits of the faster travel, and I assume we'll probably need a couple days in Urim to get all of our affairs in order before we find our next heading, if that seems agreeable to the rest of the group.
I agree.
If I can interject here, I've been working on an item for Fia for some time, though I'm not really sure what design she'd like for it.
Well, I mean, are there options? Because I would love a pearl necklace, but I don't know how specific I can get.
Well, magic can be put into any item.
On a meta level, Fia, if you wanted the necklace, it would replace the necklace you have. You can only wear one magical necklace at a time.
Wearing a necklace? I'm wearing a necklace?
Yes, the Pearl of Sending that.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize. Okay. I thought as soon as I said pearl necklace, I was like, wait a second.
Yeah.
I guess I'll do a pearl bracelet to match my necklace.
That could work. How much money do you have, Fia? Or should I dip into the treasury funds?
Not not gonna lie, this is probably gonna be a treasury fund type of ordeal.
Okay.
Because I mean, I have a rough estimate about how much gold and platinum everybody has, and it's not gonna.
Yeah, the last time it was about
Especially-
10,000, I believe.
Yeah, I was that. Yeah,
Okay, Raiden. Um,
You can, if you want, Raiden, you can make the executive decision. When spring rolls around and we roll again to see how much will be built in the season, you can borrow from that amount of money that goes to the castle to fund the item if you want. It just will decrease the amount that is able to be built in the season.
Thea does not want him to do that.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. How do I see what my gold is?
okay,
I know it's not close, but
I have a cheaper alternative. Instead of making a bracelet of teleportation, I could make a I could make a spell storing item, but I would have to imbue it every 10 uses so you can use it again. It's a cheaper version.
what is it called again?
It would be a bracelet of spell storing. It could hold teleportation up to 10 times, but once the 10 uses are up, you have to get somebody to put teleportation on it again.
I don't know if that'd be too inconvenient because
The only thing that would be different about these two items is the cheaper version only works on this one plane. The other version would be interplanar.
Yeah.
Which
You would get like a version of Raiden's staff in a way.
I mean, I don't know if there's a reason to have one that goes transplanial. That's the wrong word, I know, but
No trips to the godly realms or Feywild or anything.
I don't
Assuming.
know. I did just find the rest of my monies. I have 49 platinum and 57 gold and 10 silver.
I guess it comes to the group funds, then what everybody has, they can pull together.
Yeah. Is
Well,
everybody down for another version of the staff?
The party fund is 2,155 gold and 950 platinum.
You've yet to visit the bank yet, but that will be done once you go to Urim. But
Yeah, it's
Throg has 3,633 gold on him. I don't know if that was calculated in.
well, he doesn't really spend money, so that kind of.
Yeah, he hasn't bought shit the entire time.
Yeah,
How
I
much
don't
gold
really
is
know.
remaining?
I haven't been adding it.
It's 10,000. Say it again. What's the party fund?
So we have 950 platinum, so about 9,000 gold plus 2,000 something gold.
Oh, so
Okay.
the party fund could tank it, but it would.
Yeah.
You'd be left with like less than.
You'd
like,
be left with
200 gold.
1,000 gold. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well,
your travel needs would be fixed.
I feel bad about using the whole party fund. So maybe we should go to the bank first. I'm also fine with dedicating all my platinum because I also don't spend money. I don't go shopping very much. So, but I don't know if that really covers anything. I only have 48 platinum.
Look, how about this? I'll dedicate 5,000 from the treasury funds. You allocate 5,000 from the party funds. You still have plenty of money to work with, and it helps lessen the burden.
Zaphreal nods.
Do we have a group
Yeah.
consensus on it? Everyone cool with that?
Yeah, Cassandra has no problem with that.
So I'm going to subtract 500 platinum.
Okay.
I'll minus the 500 from Raiden's, or 5,000. I mean.
Cassandra's broke, so she can't help with any of it till next payday.
That's fine. That's totally fine. With that, um, I think Mox, you still had somewhere you were going potentially. I'm not sure. Was that it? Okay. I don't want to speak for the whole group, but is everyone down to head to Urim then?
Yeah, I just need to finish talking to Rain about that potion and the liquid iron.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize you had more. Go ahead. This is
I'm
the time
sorry.
for it.
Raiden, question. I'm looking to make a potion of what's it called again? The
Invulnerability.
vulnerability. A potion of invulnerability, and I need to procure some liquid metal. Do you maybe have
Like actual liquid metal, like you melt down a bar of iron, or
Yes, iron.
liquid iron, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Raiden will take out his alchemy jug and have it fill with liquid iron.
Oh, she like grabs hers. Could you pour some in there for me?
I will say this. I won't have you roll because Raiden's intelligence is rather high. So when you specifically say liquid iron and she confirms, liquid iron isn't necessarily just a melted down iron. It in a sense is, but there's magical intervention in the process. So it's not necessarily something you would just be able to conjure up in your alchemy jug.
Yeah, I just imagine he literally just has like red hot melted iron come into his jug. He took it very literal.
Oh. She kind of puts her mug away. I meant for potion purposes, it has magic inside of it.
That's not really my forte. I deal with more enchanting and magical items, not magical potions.
That's mine. I was just curious if you may had any knowledge.
No, I don't quite have any particular knowledge on that, but Urim, I'm sure you'll find something.
Yes. Yes. Well, I appreciate your time.
Sure. And
And
he'll go back to taking the 10,000 gold to create the item.
Okay. In a time that's not now, we will calculate how long that will take.
Sure.
Maybe we'll do it after, because it's been a while since the enchanting thing was relevant.
It only takes about 10 to 15 minutes if he knows it, which he does, since he already made it.
Okay. Well, just for cinematic purposes, we'll
Why not?
maybe put some time onto that. But
Sure.
I would say by the time the party visits Windshire next, the item will be ready. We'll just say that.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Anyways, with that being said, as you all fill your tummies with this like heavy carb and protein meal, you all end up finding yourselves back to your evening domains, whichever that may be. And as the night goes on, it's pretty peaceful. Everyone finds their own little nook and cranny to tug in for the night. I will say this. A couple things. Fia, you have a very particular good night's rest. Now knowing the fullness of the pool that exists back at that Phoenix Temple, you see it immediately correlating with how you feel. And the reason why you're able to fall asleep so easily is because the flame that you may or may not have like taken for granted that you had inside you is a warm and soothing reminder as it returns almost nearly to its full strength. Cassandra, whether
Yes.
it's because of the conversation that you, because I know you don't technically sleep per se, but you end up having these sort of daydreams that like or nightmares if you want to call them of like reliving the trauma of Ambrosia and what he's done to you and having that directly correlated to your decision to wanting to turn endless. And it's this like back and forth of like emotional turmoil for you, whether or not that's how it reflects in reality. And it's a pretty stressful time.
She's pacing while if Engless is asleep right now, she's like kind of pacing with her hands behind her back, and her eyes kind of darting back and forth.
And as the camera sort of moves in the opposite direction of your pacing, as you move out of frame, it will rise to a wide open shot of the wooden dome over Windshire as the sun starts to come up over the horizon. And we're going to kind of cut to everyone getting their supplies or whatever they needed as far as like re-upping on rations, saying, goodbyes to animals that you are leaving behind, yada yada. And the airship is currently being packed and is about ready to leave. You guys are basically just waiting on the Emerald Grove druids at this point. But they do show in tow, and there's 4 representatives that show up from the Emerald Grove, all appearing to be wood elf in nature. They're all female, roughly within the same 10 or so year age gap of around, I don't know, it's hard to tell with elves, but they seem young.
Fair.
Anyways, as they join the airship, any last words from y'all before we take off to Europe?
Didn't Fia want to talk to Quentin before we departed?
Oh, yes. That's right. You did want to talk to Quentin. We'll say that Quentin has showed up for your. He came to sort of see you all off as you go out.
Was he coming with us or just the druids?
No, the druids are coming, because when you get dropped off in Urim, they're going to take the airship back to the Phoenix Temple to continue working on the pool there, without having, Quentin having to do it himself. So, because he needs to stay behind to take care of some other druid shit, basically.
Not druid shit.
So Quentin, I just wanted to check in with you and like make sure you're okay. I guess now's not the best time to dive into it. But like I want to know your past and how you became one with I don't know what Melora, and the lifeline. It feels like it was a shock to you, and at first, I felt like I was your center, and now you've kind of found yourself, it seems, a little bit more. So I'm happy about that, but I just wanted to check in with you and make sure you're handling it all okay.
You see Quentin holds himself to a rather rigorous tension, almost like he's on a high alert. It almost reminds you of Mhox in a certain sense because of how vigilant he can be at times. But as you start to talk to him, your words start to sort of cut through him like a knife, and he breaks from that sort of like way of holding himself and shows a bit of more of a sympathetic side, one that is very concerned for you. And I don't know anything really about this Melora stuff. I get the impression that it goes way back, but it just feels different for me, I guess, and it's part of what I'm trying to figure out. Before, your flame was very cold, almost lukewarm to the touch, but now, even from this distance, Fia, you're burning that much brighter, and there's even more to come. And I just know that I'm here for a reason, and we've met for a reason. And it's becoming more clear every single day, and I will do my best to get that pool filled. As he looks at you very confidently.
Yeah. I guess I'm just wondering where your journey came from to like come so quickly to that understanding that we're connected, because Troxy and I, it took us a minute to realize it's almost like we became one with our powers at the same time, but it's almost like you came into it knowing that we're supposed to be connected. I just find it interesting that that has the way that has played out. Because have you seen the? I feel like Troxy called her the Mother Bear. Have you been connected with the past lives at all?
The second you say Mother Bear, he looks a little shocked and surprised, like almost like that hasn't been something he's shared with anybody. And he just kind of like, in quiet response, nods his head.
Troxy is the Mother Bear. Oh.
Well, I'm glad you have that connection with your past life. I was worried something had happened with Troxy to sever that. I think something happened the way she died that disconnected her from the past lives. I can't quite remember, but I'm glad you still have that connection. I was worried that for some reason you only felt the connection with just me, and I wondered what that meant. So that's fine if it's spiritual and sacred to you. You don't need to talk about it, but I'm just glad you still have that connection.
Yes, I guess I do. And Fia, don't get it mistaken. You are the center of everything for me. We are here together for a reason. And he sort of like flirtatiously grabs like the side of your cheek, and he just kind of gives a very boyish smile out of the corner of his mouth as he lets go and just kind of like gives you a nod. I don't want to keep you.
Yeah, we can talk more later, but I'm glad you have the druids helping you out. We'll take them where they're meant to be.
Of course. Goodbye, Fia. And he kind of gives you a little playful bow as if it's sarcastic.
I do the same thing and like as if I'm curtsying with a dress.
And with that, you are one of the last members to enter the airship. Throg and Mhox are already at the prow of the ship, accompanied by Tesla, who has remained on the airship. He never necessarily left.
Fucking Tesla.
Let's see here, and okay. I'm going to ask a quick question. So we're nearing when we typically stop. Are you guys down to go for just a little bit longer to see what's happening in Urim, and then we'll call it?
I am.
Sure. Why not?
Okay.
Fine.
Cool. So the journey itself, let me pull up the map real quick. It's going to take... It's going to take about 2.5 days. We will just sort of speed run through that time, however, because I gave you guys the opportunity to have airship role play earlier tonight.
Sure.
And we will say you guys arrive 2.5 days later. About halfway through the trip, another snowstorm had brewed up over the coast, and that sort of impeded some of your travel, but for the most part, you guys were flying pretty smoothly. By the time you get to Urim, it is currently still snowing, and there's a very warm, sort of like 18th century feel to the second district of Urim. Like, because this is a very much nicer range of the city because of the amount of money. Um, the cobblestone streets, you see there are a handful of construction properties, construction zones, where Urim is now implementing the technology that Collinsburg has made with the heated roads with their steam power. And the road and almost the entire block that leads from your tower in the second district is heated. So as you approach your tower, not only are the roads heated, but there is a specific lack of snow on the ground. We're going to say it's approximately 25 degrees, and we're about 10 o'clock in the morning as you all approach the original HQ of the Standing Bear.
Been forever.
It feels like home.
Entering the tower, the familiar jingle of the chime bells rings as you see Malin is currently talking to, is his name Zaxby?
Zanzabi.
Zanzabi. You see that Zanzabi is currently being scolded by Malin, and there are actually a number of other staff that you all don't recognize that have been hired since the last time you've been here, that are currently maintaining the space. And the second that Malin says, "Okay, Zanzabi, here's the thing. You just can't. Oh, get out of here!" As he kind of sideswipes Zanzabi to run off up the stairs to be at his whims. Hello there. It's a pleasant surprise. I didn't know you'd be coming.
What's Zanzabi up to?
Let's not talk about him right now, as he sort of like squints his eyes and smiles like a little bitch.
You don't need to be so formal with us.
Oh, excuse me, Sir Zaphreal, I take my job extremely seriously.
Well, while
Maybe a
he's,
bit too seriously.
Yeah, we can see that.
while he's been talking, Cassandra kind of leans over and whispers to Engless. She's like, "Out of everyone here, I would rather drink from Throg than from whatever that is." And she points to Zanzibar.
God damn it.
At which point is like the second she points, Malin is in the middle of like squinting and like making this cringe face at the idea of like telling the group about Zanzabi and what he was just talking about.
Oh, not Zanzibar, Malin. She meant she was talking to Malin when she whispered that.
No,
and then
yeah.
Oh, okay.
With that, Malin says, "Well, have you already ate for the day, or shall I have the cooks come up with something nice?"
Oh, I believe that we're famished. Please, get on the food. Right
Oh,
away.
of course, Master Endless, as he sort of like bows very, very much too low for the bow, honestly. And he maintains his bow as he walks out of the room backwards towards the kitchen/eating hall.
English turns to the rest of the group. Why does that one creep me out?
I hate him. Truly.
He is perfect for his role, but it gets to his head a little bit. It's better if you just play along, and I've tried messing with him a little bit about his severity in the role, and I think Endless, you You will want this behavior to continue for your own amusement.
Look at you being sassy.
I want to say at this point, after you guys have been there for about 30 minutes, enough to sort of like decompress from the travel that you've just been at. You guys have been going on airships for a while now, and it's nice to sort of be down at least for the next couple days potentially. As you guys are sort of resting, you notice between that amount of time, about a half an hour later, a slew of adventurers come through. There are a few parties that are rather serious looking, like the type of gear that they're wearing, you can tell just because of how experienced you guys are some like decent magical items. However, the majority of the groups that come into the tower are what you would expect of like first time adventurers. However, one of the ones that stand out that immediately make all of your guys' eye are the Goosemans.
Yeah.
They are probably about 15 to 20 pounds heavier since you last seen them. They have like, they basically have no neck. Like it's all traps, you know what I'm saying? They're very hulked out. Like the last time you guys talked to them was like quite a while ago, and at this point you can see some of them are bearing scars across their chest, and they look very much more weathered, like a stone would be in the face of you know, challenge. With that being said, there are a handful of more staff that you have not recognized until right now that are essentially working as like the people who handle the payouts of certain quests that are completed that the guild offers. And it's just like a gentle reminder to the rest of the group, like you've been in an adventuring guild for quite some time now, but it's been enough time, and your reputation as a group in itself has superseded itself, and you're running quite a popular, what seems to be like you know, profitable adventures guild, which is difficult. So, with that all being said, let's see here. What time are we at? Ooh, okay. We might have to leave it off there for tonight. Because if I asked everybody what they want to do, we're looking at a little later than 11.
Yeah, we're looking at another 2 hours.
So, what we're going to do is we will leave off there as the camera sort of like focuses in on the standing bear and slowly pans over to see the multiple groups of adventurers that are gaining their rewards and picking up more tasks that they can complete. With all that being said, it will all sort of start to wrap around as it comes to black, everybody.